want to propose a scenario to you, and I want you to seriously consider how you would react to this. The other day we were playing a game, card game called Conflicted, and a scenario like this came up. You're out in public in the city somewhere with one of your loved ones, and out of nowhere, someone comes up and snatches them up. You have a peacekeeper by your side, but you've only got a split second to make a decision to take that shot, or your loved one is gone forever. Do you take the shot, or do you lose that person? That is one of many scenarios proposed in this card game, and playing with a bunch of men. The conclusion was pretty much unanimous. Everyone at the table, the consensus was, would take the shot, and pretty much everybody at the table would make that shot. The purpose of this scenario is, if you're paying attention to what the so-called leaders of this country are allowing at the border, in very short order, the men of this country are going to be faced with a decision. That decision is going to be to stand up, clock in, and be men, or to continue to sit by idly and allow our country to be destroyed from the inside out. I had an interesting conversation with a World War II vet about a week ago, and we were discussing just the times that they came out of. And this man told the story of a 16-year-old boy who lied about his age so he could go defend his country. There was a sense of pride in young men, a sense of patriotism, love of country that permeated the soul of most young men. And many of them made the decision that he did. They lied about their age so they could go be a part of something that they felt was bigger than themselves. But one of the stark realities that set in was, if America was forced with defending this country, about 75, 76, somewhere around, there's a high population of what is considered fighting age males that aren't capable of doing so. They wouldn't meet the minimum requirements to enlist. Now, I'm not saying at all that anybody should foolishly sign their lives away to this military that is supported putting men in dresses and destroying the force that made America so formidable. I think that would be foolish. Even those who come from patriotic military families are telling their children to abstain from that choice, because we all know that the conflicts that we've been lied and propagandized into contributing to have been just that. They've been lies. And now the people that have been subjected to the treatment from the United Nations are being imported into our country. And one of the things that I've always regretted was not following through and joining the military out of high school. My best friend and I were actually on our way to take the ASVAB, and we talked ourselves out of it. There were reasons that would be considered woke today that we just didn't want to do it anymore. We didn't want to put ourselves in that situation, so we went a different way, and both of our lives went down very bad paths. But I've always regretted that. I've always regretted not finding out who I would be in that theater. I wanted to know what kind of man I would be when it comes down to that type of situation. And I regretted it until a lot of these GWAT guys that are in the same class that I would have been in came back, and I got to know their experience. And now these guys are dealing with a lot of issues that the government has turned their back on them as well. They know that they did a lot of bad things to people that probably didn't deserve it. They were lied to like we're being lied to now. But in talking with the old man, I stated that fact, and he told me something that was frightening, but it was telling about where we are. And he said that I didn't really need to pity myself for not making that decision, because I would have found myself in the same position that my GWAT brothers are, that I would be riddled with guilt and all of these different things that these guys are having to contend with. But the thing that he said at the end was what I want to bring to your attention today. And he said that it would have been a waste to sacrifice myself in a conflict there when it looks like I'm going to get my opportunity to do so right here. Unfortunately, I think that that's the case. We are being inundated with people, fighting age males from all over this place, and it's not just being allowed, it's being facilitated. We are in the same precarious position that we found ourselves in the civil conflict, where the states were being overrun by the federal, and we're here again. And this time they're going to spin it up and try to propagandize everything and make it look a certain way. But we've already seen these illegals starting to take the lives of innocent young women, and in a brutal fashion. The sad part about this reality, coupled with the 77% of young men that are incapable, is the very real truth that there will come a time where you have no choice but to stand up and make a real decision. We have gotten away with everything happening over there for all of our lives, but everything points to multiple things reaching critical mass. And this is all by design. When you realize the design, when you understand that there are powers at work, and they've been at work for a long time, this isn't new. This has been very well calculated, and it is done beautifully so. Because before now, if they had tried to pull this, and they did to a large degree, if they tried to feminize males the way that they've been successful at doing it, if they had been able to push it through when all the rock stars and all the men looked like women in the 80s, they tried it then. It just didn't stick because there was still a lot of the old American, there was a lot of old school left. But they've succeeded. They've emasculated the boys to the point where they want to remove body parts and become something else. They're not physically capable because of the estrogen producing chemicals in our food which is illegal in other countries. The people that have been tasked with taking care of us have done nothing but pimp us out to the highest bidder and sell us out to those who would line their pockets. And now, because we've been so busy with the bread and circuses, the movies, the entertainment, the games, the sporting events, the celebrity, all of these things, we have been so hypnotized by these things. Technology has been used to subjugate us and to subdue us to the point where we don't even want to move anymore. And now we're fighting amongst one another for the most trivial and ignorant things. It is prime time to pick this fruit. America has become a rotten fruit in this world. All we export is trash. It's debauchery. It's evil. And the time is coming in the very near future that all young men of fighting age are going to be forced into a situation where you're going to find out how strong you are, because you will find yourself in a very real situation that being strong is the only way you're going to make it out of it. It's time to put the games down. It's time to put your attention on things that truly matter. It's time right now to become what God intended you to be. A strong, powerful, dangerous, capable man with purpose. Because those that are coming into our country mean us no good. And you will have no choice but to be strong. Out.